welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. I am so glad. Woo! I am so glad that you are here. I've been waiting on you all day and leading up to this moment. My excitement, y'all, is on 10. It is on 10, so I'm going to try to restrain myself just a little bit, but you already know connecting with you is the best part of my day. I'm so glad that you're here. And since you are, I would love it before we get in too deep, if you would go ahead and begin to like and share this and let somebody else know that we are on the air. Tell them to join you. Come on in and enjoy what we have going on this evening. And listen, this is a special episode because it's actually the kickoff to the 5th year that I have been doing this broadcast. 5 years, can you believe it? Every first and third Monday of the month. For 5 years, I have been doing this, and I do it live, so you know exactly where I have been twice a month for the last 5 years and seeing what I've been doing. But I am so excited that I get to share this with you. Shout out to everybody who's watching in real time, and even to those who are going to tune in later, to all of the WJIL.today watchers and listeners who will be tuning in via WJIL.today, Gospel Radio, Roku, and Fire Stick TV. Listen, if you are watching via that platform, I want you to send me a note. Slide on into my DM and let me know how you're enjoying the show and all of the things that you're thinking about. I even want to know who you'd like to see on the show and what things you're enjoying, because we've introduced some new things on this brand new year, which is going by so quick. We're already in April, but I want you to be a part of that. So let me know, WJIL listeners and watchers, what it is that you're enjoying. I always want to cater to that. And even for everybody that's watching, whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's YouTube or whether it's Facebook, I appreciate it. And I thank you for sharing this information, because connecting with you is just the reason why I even do this in the first place. It's an opportunity for me to introduce some wonderful people I know to some other wonderful people I know. Now, I am out here in these YouTube streets and these social media streets, so I need you guys to follow and like and share the information. Go there and follow me on my website so that you will be able to stay connected. There is a platform there for Mama Sue's family where we get to have an after chat. There's a blog there, all kind of information, things that we're doing just to stay relevant and stay connected. So I would love if you would go there. You can go to my website at website at SueRoseberry.com and make sure that you're connected. And then we can keep you abreast of everything that's happening with newsletters and all of that good stuff. And I even like to have Mama Sue's family input on some of the creative things that we're doing. So when I get to go live with certain things, I want you to be the first to know about it. There is a subscriber platform there, but there's also a free platform, and I just want you to be along to roll with me on this journey. I want you to be sure to tap in, because we have a lot going on for the month of April already. Today, you know, we're here for Moments with Mama Sue, the kickoff for 5th year anniversary, and I have a special guest. He's already here. He's already in the studio. And then the weekend, I will be in Houston, Texas for the Texas Mass Choir Conference, and it is going to be absolutely amazing. I'll be there for a sing along that we're going to be doing of music by Texas songwriters as part of that event. So I'll be sharing music that I have written. You'll get to hear music by Dr. Patrick Bradley, V. Michael McKay, Reese Joyner Peters will be there. It's going to be awesome. So I want you to come along with us. And of course, I'll do a few lives. I'll try to remember to take some pictures and go live so that you'll get to know some of those things that are happening. And then we'll be right back on next week on Tax Day. Tax Day. I will be right back at the Southeast Senior Center doing what we do twice a month over there on the first and third Tuesday of the month. And then, of course, Resurrection Sunday is coming, so you can join me at the Macedonia Baptist Church. And then we'll conclude our fun-filled activities for Moments with Mama Sue with Lemmy Battles, Evangelist Lemmy Battles of Chicago. So I don't want you to miss anything. So follow along and just get on social media. I'll post all the information so you can stay up to the moment and keep rolling right along with me. I'm so excited because we have a phenomenal guest on today. Woo! When I say phenomenal, I mean that with a capital P, and we are going to get an opportunity to meet one of the most versatile artists that exists today. I'm saying that. I'm putting it out there. Yes, he's versatile, and he's got a lot going on, and we're going to talk to him right after this.
It's beyond entertainment. It's an experience. Book Mama Sue Roseberry today.
That is worthy. Woo! It's Mama Sue, and I'm so excited that you are here. I've been waiting for you because I have somebody special that I need you to meet. Dathan Thigpen is the season 8 winner of BET's Sunday Best. That was the all-star season. He won that hit competition in 2015 after first making an indelible impression on all of us in season 3. But this Atlanta-based singer and actor has been giving God his best all of his life as a very exciting creative. He comes from a musical family, and he has honed his skills in that well-known singing aggregation, the Mississippi Mass Choir. He's been featured on albums with John P. Key, the Mississippi Children's Choir. He's appeared on stage in Tyler Perry's hit series, The Have and the Have-Nots, as well as his theatrical production, Medea's Neighbors from Hades. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to say from Hades, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But his voice is recently featured on Fox's new show, which is Our Kind of People. He's been on the big screen performing with Beyonce in Disney's Black is King, and just so many things. The list goes on, but I'm not going to keep telling you about about him, I want you to meet him. Would you welcome to Mama Sue's family, Dathan Thigpen?
Hey,
Oh, you gotta unmute. Listen, how are you today?
I'm great. It's so good to be here, and I'm just listening to you. Like, what people don't know is, it's now we got a rich history. What the cool thing about Sunday Best and the Sunday Best family is that we always known of each other because we all watch each other. We all watch each other's stories, and but then we had the beauty of connecting on the All Star season, which I already knew of you, and but to be able to connect with you and to learn from you and just to be around Mama Sue. It's just a beautiful thing. And so I had moments with Mama Sue before there was moments with Mama Sue. So I'm
Come
happy
on,
to be here with you
somebody.
in this capacity. You know I love you.
I love you more. And you've even been to Midland, America.
Yes, I have. It was a while back, but yes, like I love. Were you born and raised there?
No, Lord. No, Lord. But I've been here so long until I claimed this as
Well,
my home many years in 19 I was finna say 1891
not that long ago.
1981. But listen, you grew up, I think the gift was on you in the womb because
Maybe
you
so.
came. I believe that because your dad is a pastor. You're a PK
Retired now,
kid.
but yes, he was. I was PK for a very long
Yes.
time. He's retired now, but PK, you're right, absolutely.
And your mom was a famed choir director,
Still
still doing
is.
it. Shout out
Absolutely.
to Darkest Thick Pen. But
Yeah.
all of those things, those are expectations that we sometimes have of our children because of the call that's on our life. Did you feel that growing up?
Absolutely. And in a special way though, it wasn't pressure in a negative sense, but my dad, and I hate to call it this, but I don't know what else to say, kind of bred our family. He was very intentional about keeping the legacy of music in his family. So he married a woman from a musical family. He was from a musical family because he wanted a musical kid to carry the legacy. And that's exactly what happened. He was very intentional about keeping the legacy of music through in his family through his kids. And now I get to even do that with my own kids. So that was an intention there. So there was no pressure. It was we knew. Like when I was a kid, my dad said, "Okay, you're going to be my Michael Jackson," and he told my brothers, "Y'all going to play this. You're going to do this." Even when I went to the band in high school, and my dad was a musician. He is a piano player. He taught piano lessons for a living. He got a music performance degree from Jackson State University. He taught music in the school system. He taught piano lessons for a living. And so he was very intentional about his kids. He says, okay, when you go to the band, you're going to play this instrument. He told my older brothers, you're going to play this instrument. We was like, yes, sir, that's what we're going to do. Like he was very intentional, and which parents should be. And so who I am today was very much so shaped. It wasn't about happenstance. It was very intentional, um, led by Holy Spirit and my God leading us into what we're doing today in our adult lives.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
of the siblings, we may know more about you maybe than we do the others, but you have brothers that have gone on into preaching,
Hmm.
have followed that vein. Of course, all of them sing a little bit. They may not want to, but they,
You hit it on the nail. They may not want to, but they do. But they end up being musicians more than anything. I kind of been ended up being the singer of the five boys. Hence my dad pegging me as the Michael Jackson of the family. And they were more the musicians of the family. So I have an organist brother who's been playing for years. I have drummers, we have bass players, and then we all play in the marching band. So I've always had a band in my family, somebody who could play for me because they were brought up there. But I was the only one that really pursued the singing as a main thing. Yeah.
Well, even though you were raised in a musical family and you had people around you that sang, your uncle directing and founding choirs
Hmm.
and doing all that stuff, but when did you really know or believe that you had a gift that could be shared with the world?
It was in 1989. I'm about to tell my age in a minute, but in 1989. So, well, I'll go back. So, in 86, I want to say is when the Mississippi Mass Choir started, and we were kids. I was 6 year old going to rehearsals, and all these kids are in this rehearsal, and we're watching our parents or our loved ones rehearse for this. What we didn't know would be a major phenomenon that would like shock the earth, you know. And honestly, we didn't know till we were adults how really famous they were because they were so humble. But we would go, and what was very interesting about the kids being in these arenas was that we could sing too. And once they figured that out, one year they had the kids and kids from Mississippi opened up for the Mississippi Mass Choir for the recording, and it was such a hit. They made it a thing, and they recorded the album for the Mississippi. I don't know if you remember this, the Mississippi
I
Children's
do.
Choir. And in 1989 when we had our first recording, and I remember because at Mississippi Mass Choir they always bring in special guests like Frank Williams was always singing, and they will always bring in guests like James Moore, and so I just remember they're gonna we were doing this recording, and I just knew they're gonna bring in some special guests to be the lead soloist. But to my surprise, in the middle of the situation, they said we want to get the kids to lead, and I was like, oh no, they're not using those. They're going to use kids. And so I remember challenging myself. I was like, I'm going to try out for a song, and I remember there was this song, and I decided that I was going to try out for it. It was called "There Is Hope," and it was really my first time really trying out in that sense for a solo. I've sang in the Sunshine Choir of my church, but that was really like a moment that I had, a moment of truth, and I won't forget it. Jerry Smith, I remember going over the song with him, and he told me, you're going to sing this song." And I remember I didn't even tell my mom. She knew I was doing it, but she didn't know anything. And so we came back to the rehearsal, and I had to sing it in front of everybody before the recording. And I remember my mom said she was shocked. She's like, I knew you could sing, but I knew you could sing like that. And I just remember just as I sang the song, how the people responded in the rehearsal. And it wasn't just like, oh, he can sing. It was more like they felt what I sang, and they understood the song better because of by the way I sang it. And it was in that moment I realized this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. And I was 9 years old, and here I am still doing it.
Ooh, and you did it so well. And the wonderful thing is that those things live on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
Absolutely.
music and those opportunities and those episodes live on. But now you didn't just stop there with the singing. You have such a plethora of gifts. You are doing all kinds of things. And I think, to me, that is the epitome of how God allows gifts to multiply in your life. Were there things, what did you want to be when you grew up?
So that's a great question because there's so many things I want to do, but because of the moments, like don't get me wrong, singing was definitely one of those things. But for me, for some reason, I had the idea that I had to choose what I want to do and stick to that one thing. Um, but very interesting enough, I had multiple gifts, and so as people watched me grow and say, "Oh, you're going to be a singer," and people begin to peg me, "This is what you're going to do. You're going to be a gospel artist. You're going to do this," and so I followed suit, and which I didn't have an issue with because I enjoyed it, so I didn't have an issue. But what became my issue was I was I was gifted with many gifts, and so in my head, and I used to always hear this phrase, and it messed me up. jack of all trades, but master of nothing. And so I was always afraid of doing multiple things because I didn't want that to be a negative stigma upon me that I'm doing too much. I'm all over the place, but I'm not mastering anything. And so I tried to just stick to one thing. And though I had aspirations to do things in acting world and the TV and film world and other things, I tried to just stay where I felt like that everybody wanted me to stay in this one lane. And it wasn't until I got older, I realized that God had been trying to get me to do multiple.
Uh-oh, we froze up for just a minute. Let's see, we'll give him a chance if he leaned to the left or leaned to the right.
Things for a very
Okay,
long
you're back. You're back.
time. He didn't. Oh, I'm back.
You're
Oh,
back.
there we are. So what was I saying? Oh,
You were
so
saying you realized that
I
God
truly
was
just
trying to
leaned into
get you
what the
to
Lord
do
was
other
saying, and the
things.
Lord just kind of opened my eyes to their multiple things. And so now I'm leaning into those many things. So now I don't just sing gospel, I also, arrange for choirs, arrange for artists, arrange for, I do vocal training as well. I do acting now, theater work, and I'm now doing TV and film work. So I'm not just in that one box. The Lord has expanded me, and I'm not no longer afraid to just stick to that one thing. I can do multiple things, and so the Lord has expanded me to not just do singing gospel. I can act. I can, arrange now. Do work with choirs. I work with groups. I do vocal training. I do so many other things, and now doing stuff with TV and film. Music and TV and film. And now the Lord has opened the doors for me to do that from a creative standpoint, and also do some more acting as well. So I'm not just pigeonholing just that, oh, you just a gospel guy. I'm so much more. Yeah, I'm a minister. I'm a discipler. It's so, the Lord has used me in so many areas, and I am up for the challenge. I don't want to be a one trick pony, as somebody would say. I want the Lord to use me in every one of my gifts.
Ooh, I love that. And y'all, that is a wonderful segue to talking about the next thing that we're going to learn about Dathan, which is something that kind of just popped up by happenstance, but it's going viral all over the world. And we're going to talk about it right after this. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Miss Annie from way down south. She's loud, she's fun, but you'd better watch out. Put on your seatbelt and take the rollicking ride with the unpredictable Miss Annie as she whips and turns and drives straight into your heart. Own it today at www.sueroseberry.com. Woo! It's Mama Sue, and if you're just tuning in, you're late. But you're not too late because we still have the phenomenal Dathan Thigpen here with us. Dathan, you have been sharing with us about your amazing journey, and you talked about how you've been reared learning to hear music, sing music, all of those things. But you had some other gifts that just kind of organically, I say organically, came out of all those things, like your acting. Let's talk about the pursuit of that. How did that start? Can you hear me?
So yeah, so I think I've always had that acting bug. Yeah, I've always had that acting bug, but it really just really I just didn't always have the avenue because once again, when you feel like you're pigeonholed in one way, you're focusing on that one thing. And so if you're focusing on that, although I knew I wanted to, I didn't find the time to be able, because I didn't think I could do both. So I would try to squeeze in. I remember in college, I tried to be a part of an acting troupe. I did a little bit of stuff, but I really didn't get the time to do it because I was really honing in on, my soul. But I do remember moving to Atlanta in 2013, and I was working in church. I still work in this church, but I was working in church. I minister music, and I remember Tyler Perry was looking was doing a cast for two new plays that he was doing, and he did the normal of this play that was coming out.
We've got some freezing going on again with the Wi-Fi signal because Dathan is out in the wilderness.
Was a member of my church, and they were looking for people, and so I remember my pastor got the information. He called me to the office and said, "Hey,
Dathan, your Wi-Fi is freezing you up and we're not able to hear the story of how your pastor got information about the Tyler Perry casting." There it is. It's buffering. We're going to pause a second and see if we can get him back. There he is. Okay.
The next time I come back, he will probably be in the room.
The connection is messed up, Dathan, and we're not able to hear you. Let's try now.
So,
Rats. That's technology for you. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I can't hear you, and you're freezing. Well, while he's going away and trying to get back in and see if we can get a better connection, I'm going to share something with you that Dathan arranged. Let's see if we can hear him now, and if we can, we'll carry on. Dathan? Still frozen? Oh, rats. Rats. Well, Dathan, take it back out and then sign back in and see if that will give you a better connection. And in the meantime, I'm going to share with you this wonderful clip that Dathan arranged and created in tribute to someone that we all know.
Angie Stone, here we go.
He is my king, he is my one. Yes, he's my father, yes, he's my son. I can talk to him, cause he understands everything I go through and everything I am. He's my support system, I can't live without him. The best thing since sliced bread.
round for Angie Stone.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. That clip has gone viral, and of course, we realized that it was done in celebration of Angie Stone's life, who we lost recently. But I don't think I ever heard the lyrics of the song represented as beautifully and as clearly as it was with that particular clip. And I just got a text from Dathan, who is telling me there are storms in the area. So I think that's probably causing the issues that he's having. And I will understand if he's not able to get back on. Dathan is touring right now with a wonderful stage play that is called Jason's Lyrics. It is the stage play of the movie that was done many years ago. If you saw the movie, put it for me in the comments and let me know that you saw Jason's Lyric, the movie, the screenplay. But there has been an adaptation into a stage play, and in this particular stage play, Dathan is playing the role of the street preacher, who is actually a role that was written in, and he is basically narrating this dark love story that takes place in Houston, America, okay, in the Fifth Ward in Houston. So the stage play is touring. It has numerous tour dates. He's been out touring with the play, and they have several dates that are still coming up. He just finished and was between dates, so he has dates in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then he has dates in Atlanta, Georgia, and he also has dates in Charlotte, North Carolina, Brooklyn, New York, and Washington, D.C. And the cool thing about what he's doing is that he's allowing the plethora of gifts that he has to be able to be used as he's going out. Even touring and acting, he's taking vocal vibes on the road. So we just got through playing that wonderful vocal arrangement that you did for Black Brother. Can you tell us a little bit about what it meant to you to be able to do that, especially now it's a bittersweet moment? Are we able to hear you? Let me see if I can type it, and then he can see that and be able to. We lost him again. So the storms are in the area. I apologize, not for the show itself, because Dathan is such a wonderful talent, but storms are in the area, and I appreciate him trying to make the sacrifice just to even be a part of Moments with Mama Sue for this particular time. But anyway, I want to share with you some ways that you can follow Dathan. I want to share ways that you can follow Dathan and be able to keep up with all of the amazing things that he has going on, because he's busy, y'all. He's booked. He's on all of the social media platforms. So you can follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and he told me today he's even on TikTok. So you can go to TikTok and find him. He's always doing something that's creative, inspirational, and I think allowing the Lord to use all of his gifts to encourage and inspire. And when I was talking with him earlier, I found out that he's been able to have his boys learn how to sing just the way that he did. And he actually has them singing parts. I wish you could hear them. If you all follow him, follow Dathan on his Facebook and Instagram, and y'all will get to see those beautiful boys because he has them singing. Dathan, can you hear?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh my
I've been
goodness.
talking about your arranging and how you have, those things have been woven together. Your acting while you're on the road, you're also expanding this vocal vibe sensation.
Yeah, so let me tell you how that all happened. I had a friend who I've been one thing I do, I've been arranging and doing that for a very long time. A lot of people don't know that. Arranging for choirs, arranging for groups. Like Candy Burris, the phenomenon, Candy Burris, who sings with Escape and now who's one of the producers for Othello on Broadway right now, has a group called Siren, an R&B group. And for a year, I arranged for them, and I would arrange like these pop tunes or these R&B tunes, and they would just post them so people would get to know them better before their album came out. And now they're soaring the R&B charts at number one. But I would do that. And I had a friend who at an event and brought some singers together. She's like, hey, I want you to do what you do with Siren and do it for these girls. I mean, do it for these some people, singers in the room. And the first time I did it, it just kind of went viral and went crazy. And she's like, well, you got to keep going. And I was like, well, I can't keep going because I'm about to go on tour. She's like, what am I going to do? And so that was my friend. I was helping her out. But what the response to what was happening with these arrangements was so amazing to me, because I'm gonna just be honest with you. There was negative stigmas about choir directors for me growing up and arrangers. It just, and I don't have to, speak. I think we may know what we're talking about. And so I kind of shied away from really promoting that. But in these moments where these moments were going viral and people from all over the world were loving it and say, we want more, it just made me realize, no, don't ever diminish whatever your gift is that God has given you. Don't hide it. Don't cover up. Don't be ashamed of it. It's what God has given you. And then it was at that moment I realized, although I was going on a tour, no, if the world wants to see more of this, let's give the world more of this. So I came up with this broad idea. Well, it was really through the Holy Spirit, but to do a tour within a tour. And as I was on tour, to stop in certain cities to do vocal vibe, where I just go in a room and I just teach these people a cool arrangement that the Lord gave me of songs. And it just has blown up tremendously. And I remember the day we had set to go do one in Detroit, we heard of the passing of Angie Stone. And I decided we were definitely going to do an arrangement for her. And that arrangement is almost at 1 million views right now. It was just something the Lord just given me to just do as a tribute to her. And the people really received it. I even heard of her loved ones, including her children, have heard the arrangement and loved it and just really gave their sentiments towards it. And I was just glad we were able to be a blessing in that time with that arrangement.
Well, I said while you were in cyberspace that I don't think I have ever heard the sentiments, those lyrics expressed so honestly and so beautifully as in that choral arrangement, because what you're actually doing is using a choral style arrangement like we do in choirs.
Right.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, and who knew that was a thing? But it just kind of happened, and I'm just kind of leaning into it. We did an arrangement of A Human Nature by Michael Jackson, and it just kind of millions of views across different platforms. And Viola Davis posted it, like so many different platforms, really. And it made me realize there's something special with the gift of arranging. It's just it takes a special person to be able to take a song that's already good in itself, already a hit, already amazing, to kind of reimagine it in a way with singers or with a choir. And for people to still love it, not be like, don't touch it, it's a classic. for people to be like, we love this, we want more. There are choirs all over the world who are asking for sheet music that we're getting published for some of these arrangements, and so we're getting it done just so people can teach it to their choirs from Brazil to from all over the world. People have been reaching out, and it's really amazing to see who would have known. Like one thing about I've learned and what God does with me is that there are levels and there are dimensions. I'm going to plug this like I'm in a place where I need to plug my phone up, and I don't want to go dead, so you may have to turn up this car just in case. But there are levels to what God does, and you got to lean into that. And so that's what I've done in this. And so I'm just grateful that God is using me in this way.
It's phenomenal. And you have such a keen ear. What you're doing with Vocal Vibes is featuring the voice as the instrument because you have some instruments in there, but oh my goodness, the beautiful melodic quality of and tone of those vocal instruments is what just almost brings you to tears on every single song.
It's it's a blessing. I hope you can hear my audio because my audio is changing. But it's a blessing to me, and I think it's been a blessing to other people. And it's just amazing to see what God is doing in this season with it. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going and just see what the Lord does with it.
Well, I think it's phenomenal. Now, your volume is down a little bit, so we can't hear you as well. But I do want you to talk about your role as the street preacher because he doesn't even preach as he tell about the various about the various plays, the various places he'll be appearing when he gives the dates that they'll be showing the show. So talk about the street preacher.
So yeah, I connected with this production company with Jacarius Johnson Entertainment, and I did a tour last year with them. Well, let's go back. So they did Jacarius Johnson a couple Christmases ago did a Sunday Best Winter Christmas concert in Houston. Um, and that's where I met him. And then later, I was invited to do a tour with him about.
Up, we're frozen again. We are frozen. We are frozen. Did you all get the part about him having been part of a Sunday Best Winners event in Houston and meeting up with Jacarius Johnson? Okay, let's see if we can get him back. Up, he has left the building. Y'all, cyberspace is a funny thing and technology is funny. I'm just glad it's not me booting him out, but it's the technology and the Wi-Fi support for the area where he is. But I am so pleased that he took the time to try to jump in with us. And I promise you, I will get him back so that we can hear more in a better location where he is. He is on vacation, spring break with his boys, and they are camping, for real camping, not glamping like I would be doing, from a hotel. But they are for real camping, and he is trying to connect with us via that connection that he has going on with that. But I will say that he is a phenomenal talent. Let's see if he's back and can talk to us. Can you hear us now, Dathan?
I think I'm back.
You're
Hello,
back.
hello. Listen, they don't want me to be great in these streets.
But you can be great. Be great, baby.
But no, what I was saying was Jacarius Johnson, after doing the Sunday Best Winter Christmas concert, I was invited to act and to be a part of his tour last year about doing the story of Rick James, and I played Barry Gordy in that, and which was a wonderful experience. My first national tour, and I ended up doing. He also does New Jack City, so I did one. One of the people didn't come back, and they had to do one show in Memphis, so they invited me to do that. I had to learn a whole show in a day or two, and I did by the grace of God. And then I was invited back to come and do this tour, and they invited me to be out. He talks about very interesting things, but he talks about love and different things. And so for me, they made me almost like a narrative about the different. I talk about love. I'm talking about hate, and I'm really doing many sermons about it. But I'm a street preacher. I'm not. Some backstory is that I got kicked out of my church, and I'm just on the street preaching the gospel. But I get to tell the different stories about love and what love means to God, and how hate can mess up your friendships, and how love is the key to getting rid of hate. I talk about change and how change will make your life new if you allow it to be. It's actually a beautiful thing how they poetically introduced the street preacher. And this is it's not a new character to the movie, but I have like 6 monologues that talks about different things. And that all those are new because there's only like 1 or 2 in the movie. And I think it's a beautiful thing. It's something you have to watch to see for yourself. It has stretched me as an actor. And I'm going to tell you, the saints who are listening, this ain't your mama's play. There's some choice words in there, so you gotta be a strong Christian to come in there and sit through it and understand the message behind it. Because if you've seen the movie, you're gonna see some of the same language in the movie. But I do feel like the Lord has taken me into different arenas for a reason, and I do think, although the gift is taking me there, I do think ministry is still behind it. And I think the Lord in this season is putting me in what I like to say, being a light in dark places. So I'm around people who are not churchy. I'm around people who are coming to see the show who may not come to a church. And so the Lord, I believe, is using me in a very different way in the season to reach people. Even my vocal vibe, when I go, there are very unchurched people that show up. People who probably would never show up at a church. But now I have a platform to tell them about Jesus. It's my platform. I can talk about the Lord all I want. And in a lot of cases, I do. And actually, at every single one, I leave time to talk about Jesus. I tell them, you know what makes me great and helps me do what I do is not me. It is the Lord. It is the Lord who's giving me these gifts. And that's like some of you have gifts, and some of you are trying to figure out what to do with your gift, what to do with your career. And I point them back to Jesus. He's the one. He's the only one that can really show you. He's the manufacturer. If you want to know how something works, go to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer knows exactly how you work. You go into ChatGPT, you go into all these places, and I make sure I remind them that God has a destiny just for you. And some of you are looking for everybody for you. Some of y'all got destinies, and I believe that's my testimony. Some of you have a path that's never been charted. And the only person who knows how to show you how to get through that path is him. You can't go to a book. You can't ask somebody else's story. You can't look at Denzel Washington. You can't look at Kirk Franklin. You can't even look at Mama Sue. You can't look at David. You got to go to him to show you your path. And the Lord has me in these settings where people won't come to church, telling them how to connect to the Lord, how to connect. And I'm very specific. I don't talk about, because God can be a lot of different people in these days. I'm very specific. And I'm talking about Jesus. That is my connection to how the Lord has brought me to this place. And it's even in a discipleship way where there are people who they want to connect on a level. Every city I go to, I connect to a minister or a discipler that can connect them. So even when I'm gone, if they want to know more about Jesus and more about the Lord, they can connect with them. So it's bigger than I've expected on a ministry. Like, it looks like one thing on one side, but out of it all, the Lord is still doing a ministry in it, and he's just doing it in a very unorthodox way. And I'm open to it, and I believe God is using me in this season to be able to do that.
I love that. I love it. And I love that you are having fun while you do it.
Oh, I am having the time of my life, because that's one thing I used to tell people, it's crazy because we do this, Mama. So I know you do this. You work for church. You work with church. You work with choirs. You work with groups. And one of my joys every week at my church was on Thursday night going to choir rehearsal. I told a friend, I was like, I don't know what it is. I love it. You know, some people dread it because they got to go, they got to teach choirs, they got to get all this stuff, they want to get it over with. But me, I absolutely love it. And so now I can do it on my own terms. I do all kinds of music. And it's kind of my happy place, Mama Sue. It is my happy place.
And people gravitate to your positive energy that surrounds that. Now, I can't get off without talking about those beautiful boys of yours, because you actually do the Matty Moss Clark with them and the Joe Jackson. You got the boys singing parts and trying out your arrangements. Talk about that.
Yeah, so they get it really honest. One of the things I I I see my dad in me. I think I told you earlier where my dad kind of like, you're my Michael Jackson. I want you to do this. And so I try to be balanced where, you know, I don't want to be a Joe Jackson, but at the end of the day, there will be no Michael Jackson if there wasn't a Joe Jackson. So I try to find the balance in it. But it's very important that I maintain the legacy that God has placed in my lineage. A lot of times people don't really lean into that. And I love that my dad was very intentional. So in the best way possible, I try to be intentional about my kids. Now, I don't force anything on them, but I introduce them to so much. And what I love is that they love it, you know. Now, when they stop loving, that's a different thing. But I'll be in the room and like, hey, I want y'all to sing this. And they're eager. They actually love to do it. They love it just as much as me. So it's like, sing this. And we love singing harmonies together. We've performed together on stages. We performed at the VMWA together actually before.
Yes.
And you know, we do it at church. We've done it on stages, all kinds of stages, and they actually love it. And I'm glad, and I hope it stays that way. But this is just something that's in me, and I know that's in them. And as a parent, it's important for me to give them avenues to get it out. And what they do with it in the future, I'm gonna leave that up to them and God. But I make sure they have that connection to God. So if they need to know, they go. Like I tell them to pray about lost keys, lost game pieces, all of that. So in life, when they were trying to figure out career purposes and what I'm doing with, you know, I know this music. I'm in sports now. Lord, where am I? They know to ask Him, and that communication will be open. So I won't be the parent that's telling them, no, you gonna do to you. I will let the Lord lead them, but I'm gonna lead them. But I will give them access to it. So I'm grateful to have kids that are super talented, and I'm going to teach them all I know. Now, what the Lord and they do with it after that, I'm going to leave it up to them.
Well, listen, God knows how to bring it out of them in the same way that He is using you. Dathan, thank you for making this big hole in your vacation plan between your touring dates for Jason's Lyric. I want to say that he's going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Brooklyn, New York, and Washington, D.C. And if you're in any of those places and can catch Jason's Lyric, all you have to do is go and find Ticketmaster, because they're selling the tickets so that you can go and see this incredible artist in person.
Yes, and you can actually go to jasonslyric.live.com as well. You can go to Ticketmaster and type it in, but you can also go to www.jasonslyric.live.com as well.
And then we want you to follow Dathan on all of his social media platforms. I don't care if it's 1 million people on there. You be 1,000,001.
Come
Let's
on!
just keep pushing him so that he will continue to do all of the great things that he's doing. Pick up his album, I Can Hear a Song. That's his recording. And I have it. And on that recording, he's doing his cover of Blessed that won him BET Sunday Best, All-Star Season 8, and some other music. You just got to follow him. He's just good. And I have to give y'all like the little preacher, the street preacher on Coming to America. That boy is good.
Thank you so much.
That boy is good. Dathan, leave us with a word of encouragement for others that are trying to pursue the various avenues, and if it's unclear how they can really utilize things that God is giving them to do in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to say, never allow people to shape who you are. Only allow God to do that. Now, God will send people along the way to help you, but only connect that in your spirit with what you know God is showing you. And how, and you may ask the question, how will I know? You got to get in the Word. You got to pray. You got to connect with God, and He will show you. I have a meeting with the Lord every morning about what we're doing. Like, Lord, what are we doing today? What are we doing with my career? What are we doing with these kids? I'm a father. What are we doing? Like, I have plans for my parents. Like, what are we doing? How do I handle this? And when I read the Word and I ask the Lord to show me in the Word, when I read, I have a notepad. He shows me. Sometimes there's quiet times where I pray. Sometimes we pray and then we get on the go, and He wants to tell you your answers to your prayers, but you left. Prayer is two-way communication. So sometimes you got to leave that time for when you're praying, you putting on what do you need from God. Sit there in the silence with a notepad, and when He begins to talk to you, write it down. And I guarantee you, He will begin to show you things, answers to things you've been trying to figure out for a very long time. So if you want to know your next steps, the man who has it is waiting on you to ask Him. He's waiting to tell you. So if you want to do this, once again, go to the manufacturer. But more than that, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If you're multi-talented and you have more than one gift, don't be afraid to do more than one gift. Don't put God in a box. He can't just use you in one way. No, He wants to use you in multiple ways. So I know I just said a mouthful, but the Lord has blessed me, and I want to share that with the world. So I'm going to leave you with that nugget. Let the Lord use you in all the many ways He can use you. In Jesus' name.
Oh, I love that. And Dathan, can I get you to come back sometime when you're stable somewhere and we won't be interrupted?
We have to. As a matter of fact, I was going to tell you, Mama Sue, because I'm in the woods in the middle of nowhere, because we're starting off our camping with the kids, the spring break, and my little break from the tour. So I this little signal out here, a little fickle. Then it storms. I look like this is all the things are against me tonight, but we press through in the name of Jesus. But because of that, I am definitely coming back so we can do this. And it's going to be as stable as possible, on top of stable, and we're going to make this. And look, mess with me, we'll do it in person.
Well, I happen to be hunting you down because I troll Dathan and try to see what he's up to, because I am praying fervently for you that God will continue to bless and cover you and make everything you do to be prosperous. That's my prayer for you.
Well, Mama Sue, just know that anytime you have moments with Mama Sue, you just let me know. I'm going to make it my business to always come and sit with you and talk whenever you want to talk.
I appreciate it. Hang out with me backstage just a minute as I wrap up. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Listen, we have had a great time tonight, although there were some distractions, but you got the bulk of the matter to know that this amazing creative is out here on an assignment from the King, doing great things. And I hope that encourages you to open up and expand your horizons and the things that you think about doing for the Lord. Nothing is impossible and nothing is off limits. If you believe it, you can achieve it, and God can do it through you. I want you to stay with me all through this month, because we're getting ready to celebrate again on the third Monday of this month with Evangelist Lemmy Battles of Chicago, Illinois, and we'll be turning all the way up. We'll have some giveaways on that episode. All of that's coming up on Moments with Mama Sue. And do know that you can connect with me, follow me on all of our social media platforms, and connect with me, because I definitely want you to know that connecting with you is the best part of my day. I'll see you.